Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 126 of the Two Player Co-op podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my other mother, Nick Schifani is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Again, reigning champ, brought out from not wrestling this time.
Did you get every pick right?
No, I was really close.
Then you got 5 out of 6 right or something. Okay.
Yeah, I got really close.
Yeah, because we all got Seth.
By the way, you also have a lot of brothers from other mothers.
I have lots of nerdy brothers. You need
to check something in the data bank.
Mom.
Yeah.
Sean is still out. Normally, if you haven't tuned in here in the last few weeks, if you didn't know, Sean had a baby. He didn't have the baby. Brittany had the baby. He's still enjoying life at home, getting used to being a dad. He's definitely getting used to it.
Is he?
His GIF the other day was,
I know.
Stop
pooping. I was like, just wait.
That's just fatherhood. And he's like,
just wait till you're like, please poop. I need you to poop.
When they get filled up. We had that with Noah. Sorry, Noah, if you're watching this in the future sometime. Noah, one time when he was 2 or something, he didn't go for a week or something. And we went and had to go get a CT scan. And he is so backed up. And
if James doesn't potty, the number 2, Summer will have to give him a suppository.
Oh, yeah.
But it's liquid form.
Yeah.
And she's got to spray it up there. So now he tries to poop, and because he'll say, no poop medicine. Or no booty medicine. That's what it is. He doesn't want booty medicine.
I wouldn't either, little
when
guy.
We say, do you have to have some medicine? He says, medicine for my mouth, not my booty. Yeah. So now he knows he needs a poop.
It's episode 126 of the Two Player
Starting
Co-op
off great.
Poopcast. If this is the first time you're seeing us, like I said, Sean's out. He may be back next week. This weekend's crazy because Jess is going to be out of town, speaking of me being out of town. Now she's going to be out of town for a weekend, so I get to figure out life as a single dad of 4. So if we do podcast next week, I hope Sean, I think he'll be back. But it'll probably go up later next week, so just don't freak out, think we missed a week. And then the week after that, I don't know what's going on. I got a gymnastics meet to go to in Knoxville. It's the state meet for Nick. So I have no idea what's going to happen that week and how long we're going to be gone. So stay tuned. Just check us on Twitter. We'll be there.
Remind me to ask you something about Nick's gymnastics off camera. I don't want to get into the whole...
We'll do. Hit the comment section down below and remind me in case I forget, because my memory is...
I only asked that because as a former cheerleader, I've just got questions about what his future plans are going forward. So anyways, we'll talk later.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
But if this is the first time you're seeing us, hopefully you're watching us at youtube.com/2playercoop, or you're watching us at nerd901.com. But either way, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, hit the little bell so you get notified every time we post a video. We got to do everything we can to fight YouTube's algorithms because we're not monetized and all that fun stuff. Even if you only listen to us on audio services around the globe, it would mean the world if you could go over to youtube.com/2playercoop and hit that subscribe button. I got a little lightheaded there.
Yeah, I figured.
We do have a merch store as well, which you can check out at teespring.com/stores/2playercoop. Hopefully I remember to put it right here. And we have a Twitch channel, but we might actually stream on that this weekend at twitch.tv/2player_coop. Sean and I were thinking about doing something, and this Saturday night might be fun, so just kind of stay tuned to that. GTA Online.
Is that what you're thinking about?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because we can do the party chat with it and stuff. It'll just be my gameplay or his gameplay, whoever broadcasts it, but who cares?
We all do picture-in-picture, or we all just do just the game and
just
voice behind it?
Because I'll be inside and the lighting's horrible.
Yeah.
Again, we don't have internet here in the recording studio. Hey, speaking of not having internet in the recording studio, last week I put up episode 125 with @Lefty Logie himself, Logan Wilkinson. It was a nice wide-ranging conversation about all things video games. I had to record that inside because we actually have internet in the house. But if you didn't see episode 125, go back and check it out. Had a lot of fun.
Great job. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So as wrestling fans, we're coming off a pretty good high here in the last half hour or so. We're recording this Monday night. Roman Reigns is, I guess you can't say cancer-free, but he is in remission.
He's in remission. So, he's fought it off. And
he kicked cancer's ass like we knew he would. It's just I will never boo that man again, ever. I don't care. Even if you try to make him a heel or you just put him in the absolute
I don't know if
worst
that's going to be a while.
No.
Yeah.
He now, after this, it's weird to even say that, but he's in Cena territory now. Even if they ever did want to turn him, they kind of teased it after he beat Undertaker and he did "This Is My Yard" and then they never followed up on it. You can't now.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think about it. And by the way, cheers to you, Roman Reigns. Yeah, I mean, I've told this story before. When I went to WrestleMania last year, like we walked out in the main event, and it's not because it was Roman. I would never walk out of a Roman main event or a Roman event match. Period.
Yeah,
it was just my steaming hatred for Brock Lesnar. So I was like, even if Roman won, I'm sure that'd be a cool thing to see, but I just don't want to see a Brock Lesnar match anymore. So,
and just imagine if you would have stayed for the end, and then you're like, what the?
And then
why?
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, because that's what it was. It was like, okay, everyone assumes Roman's going to win. It's a Brock Lesnar match. I don't care. I hadn't eaten since 11:30 that morning, and so we were really ready to go. 8 hours of wrestling in one spot with 2 pee breaks is a lot of wrestling.
I don't think I could do it.
No, it was tough.
I don't think
I went one time and I think I'm done. I don't know if I'll ever go again.
But at least you've been to WrestleMania.
Right,
At some point,
right.
I still need to get there when the kids get a little
Rumble
older.
will be my next one probably.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Or SummerSlam, but we'll see. But we're here to talk video games.
Yes. So I've only been playing old games, but Nick has played a very new game, and I want to talk to him about that. Nick, tell me about Anthem.
I thought you meant Kingdom Hearts 1.
That one too. We'll get to that. I really can't wait to hear. As someone who I've never played a second of it,
I hadn't
so
either
to get your thoughts going in completely blind and playing it for the first time, I'm very
I've been playing, like, normally I don't play. This is kind of a down period for me, because like last year we were waiting for God of War to roll up on this time last year. We're getting to kind of there, and then the year before that we were waiting for Horizon to kind of roll up on us. So I would always just kind of like go back and play kind of old games, like you said, whether it be just kind of like playing around WWE or Call of Duty from the year prior, or just kind of just messing around different stuff. But this year I'm actually on a path of new games, so to speak, with Apex Legends and Anthem. So starting with Anthem is what you want to go start with. I really am having a blast with this game. And now, granted, I said it the other night in a tweet. I did have twice where the game not crashed, but essentially did, because I just couldn't get back to the doorway, and I couldn't continue through a mission because I couldn't go through the door. So I had to jump out of the mission, go back to the main screen, and then hit resume, and then go back to the mission. It was it wasn't like it was really far, and I could go into it awfully quick.
Yeah.
And then went to the doorway, and then at the end of that mission, you discover the new place called the Launch Bay, which is basically a quick access to the Forge, which is where you create your javelin and customize it, in a shop, and contracts, which is basically the different side missions or whatever. So then there's a massive 2-way door to go through there, and I couldn't go through there, and it was me and probably like 15 other online people. I'm not really having like an interaction with them. We're all just standing around this door, just like, when is this thing gonna open? And so people are shooting at it and firing at it and just running around, and like, are you supposed to, because it's like a quick tutorial of like, here's your shop, here's where you make your javelin, here's where you can do online buying, because there's microtransactions, but nothing, but it's, I think, to an extent, EA maybe like learn their lesson. It's all cosmetic.
That's what I thought.
So it's not like it's progressing the story. So there's different spots. So I thought, I was like, okay, maybe I have to see a different spot before the door will open for some reason.
Right.
Even though that's like a 2009 type thing.
Didn't hit the checkpoint. You got to run over there.
Right. So did that. Didn't happen. So had to exit out of the game. And then I was playing online with the homie Melanie Klink and her husband Jacob and a friend of theirs, and we did the free play, because there's a main mission, side mission-ish type thing, and then strongholds, which I haven't gotten to yet, and then free play. And so free play, you can just roam the world and open different little treasure boxes and do little world events, and just really kind of like, that's a good place to kind of like learn your character and what your javelin can do, kind of upgrade it and get more things, whether they're different guns or abilities, because you fight off all types of different monsters and enemies. So we did probably about 45 minutes worth of free play, and getting a bunch of treasure, and getting a whole bunch of loots, different rare items, different common items, all types of different stuff. And then I went to, like, I was going to drop out of the game and let them keep playing and handle, I was just playing single dad that day with Summer being at work, and going into the menu, the pause menu was really slow and laggy. So I was like, oh no. And so Melody's like, look, I'll just end the whole free play, so hopefully everyone can get their loot. So I I hear them on the headphone going, "Oh, cool! Oh, cool! Oh, cool!" This thing, and I'm still in the loading screen. I was like, "Oh, ish, this is not good." And so then it just crashed, and I was like, and they're like, "Well, hopefully you get your stuff back," and I was like, "Hopefully so." And then I fired it up last night after the Oscars, and it just wouldn't even connect.
Really?
Yeah, so I haven't tried it when I got home. So outside of those issues, I know I'm focusing as much as like, I love this game, and I'm focusing on the bad, but I wanted to get that out of the way because that I think is the big thing people are learning about this game is crashing. But, to be fair, it was launch weekend for a game that I know was a week earlier on PC, but now it's the full access thing.
Get the chart out.
Yeah, get the chart. You get the EA chart out. But it very much is everything you've heard about feeling like an Iron Man.
Okay.
I think it's still a little clanky as far as the controls. They don't just like break down on you, but you have to kind of get used to it. You're sprinting, and the next thing you know, you're trying to fly. And something I didn't know going into it is like the suit can run out of juice. Basically, it overheats. So I don't know if that's like something that as you progress, you can have like a longer fly time.
Yeah. But
you have to you can't fly the entirety of the game, which makes sense because that would seem a little too OP. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm playing with the Interceptor class, which is kind of the slender, more agile one, comparatively to like the Colossus, which is obviously, as the name says, is huge. And then there's a Ranger, and that's kind of like mid-tier. And then there's the Storm, and I think that's kind of like almost like the Wizard magic one. It's got like magic abilities. But so the Interceptor is really, like I said, agile, nimble, and so you are more melee-based attack than shooting, which is good because as much as I play first-person shooters, I'm not that great at third-person shooters.
Really? See, I'm the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I love my third-person shooters, but I've said many times, I just suck at first-person shooters.
I think for me is someone who's blind as a bat, third-person shooters, you only get so far of a depth, zooming in, whereas first-person, you're getting really zoomed in. So I think that may have something to do with it, or I'm just crazy. I don't know. But so playing with the Interceptor, I use a lot of melees, but it looks like you're inside. Like you've seen videos of like WoW or Magic, or maybe not Magic the Gathering, but or Smite or whatever, or very like MMO likewise, where it's top down.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of chaos going on. It's like that, but you're in the middle of it. So at one point I'm just slashing, and I'm like, I don't know who else.
Are you on my team? I don't know.
Luckily, there's no friendly fire because I could have killed Mel and Jacob 14 different times. So you're just slashing all over the place, but it's really cool. And each character has an ultimate. I don't know what the Colossus and the Storm are, but for the Ranger, it's basically like a Iron Man / War Machine napalm strike that comes right out of the shoulder and blows everyone.
Awesome.
And then with the Interceptor, it's like heated Wolverine claws, and you're just going crazy, and you're invincible too. So it's probably about 15 seconds, and you're just wailing on everyone. It's super cool.
Berserker barrage.
Yeah, it really is like a Berserker barrage.
That's freaking awesome.
It's a lot of fun, and I'm not too terribly far through the story yet. I did hear that it's not very long story-wise, but that's kind of upsetting because BioWare. I know in the past I've never played the Mass Effect games. But Adam did. I assume you and/or Sean did.
That's the one RPG series, at least the first two, that I feel like I missed out on.
Yeah.
I don't care anything about Andromeda because I've just heard nothing but horrible things about that. But it's when I think of RPGs not appealing to me, it's the turn-based RPGs.
Yeah.
I just can't do turn-based gameplay. I've tried, I can't do it. But Mass Effect is the one I've always been I think I really missed out on.
Yeah, it's kind of more westernized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did Sean play the Mass Effect games?
He might have played the first one, I want to say, but he didn't. I know he didn't play the whole trilogy.
Yeah, Adam loved the trilogy. And he played them a lot. And when we lived together, I watched them, and they were a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
Plus, space boinking. So, but so for a BioWare game, for everything I heard, it doesn't have that much of a story. So hopefully they'll add on, whether it be free DLC or not. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's the cool thing of going into it is obviously much like these Destiny and games of services or anything, customization is really one of the fun parts that I enjoyed. And so any chance I get the opportunity to play as a female protagonist, I will. On top of I always name the female protagonist after my wife, Summer, just because not to get sappy here for a moment, but I wouldn't be where I am today without her.
Right.
So like, it's not like I'm sure I don't know what level she appreciates me customizing her as video game plays, but it's kind of like I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing because of her. So and the support that she does give me. But so I created the woman redhead, named her Summer, and you have up to 5 javelins that you can customize of just the one sex. So like I can open it. I think at level 8 I can open another category of javelin, which is the suit you're in, by the way. I'm sorry if I didn't say that earlier.
Yeah.
But you can have 5 different like loadouts. So the first one I did was called ECMO 1, much like Tony Stark's Mark 1.
Nice.
But Summer runs the ECMO pump for the Lebaner.
Nice.
And so I made that one kind of Spider-Man colors. And then the second one I named Preceptor, because Summer's other job at work is precepting the new trainees at Lebaner as well. And I made those more of Mississippi State colors because that's her alma mater. So she's like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like she was seeing this and like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like she's like starting to understand like, how cool video games can be. So I can't give you too much of a deep dive in the story because I haven't gotten there, but it seems like it's going to be like just a all out blow your mind rock fest getting towards the end of as you like kind of build yourself up and get more abilities and open more javelins to your expense. And there's the NPCs in this game, the non-playable characters, are some of the most adorable and kind of like down-to-earth NPCs. In most of these games, they're always kind of a little over the top or whatever. And there is one that's a little over the top. His name Owen. He's like your guy. He's like your man in the chair.
Okay.
Take a Spider-Man reference type of guy. But he's kind of wonky because apparently like they're called ciphers, and every time they do a cipher test, like they pull something out of you that like they're just like they don't like physically pull something out of you, but like leaves you in a state. Leaves you in a state of like just kind of just being out of touch almost. And so he's really fun to be around, and just different people as you meet. So I mean, I'm having tons of fun with the game. I wanted to play so much today. Like I wish it would be. There's no way that game could run on Switch. At least I don't think so. But if it could be, I mean, I would have been playing it during lunch break.
Yeah. So what I heard, I was listening to the Games Cast today, and Fran did his review. He said overall he really likes it. It seems like it's what I've heard from him and a lot of people is it's more just like a skeleton now that you can see the potential for where it's going to get, like all these games do. And Schreier put out an article over the weekend, I think, that was basically hinting at that like EA made them get this out now. It was like,
I mean, of course, right?
You had to just get this. We need this probably before the Q1 ends or whatever. Yeah. This is when it's coming out. Fix the rest of it later.
I mean, that's kind of the MO for them, right? For EA. But I mean, because there's no way BioWare would just put a skeleton game out.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so Fran was saying the story starts off awesome. It dips in the middle, and then the end is awesome.
Okay.
He said it's about 12 hours if you just mainline it, or if you do some side stuff here and there, it's about 20 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, if I do end up getting this game, that's what I'm going to get it for, is the story, and after everything's patched and all the crashes are fixed and stuff, a 20-hour story, that's perfect.
That's perfect.
That's
I mean,
exactly
Spider-Man,
what I want.
Spider-Man wasn't much more than that anyways, but it was a full-fledged game coming out. But yeah, I mean, I am having a lot of fun with this, and I was worried because I was not a big Destiny fan.
That's what I was going to ask, is if you played Destiny, because I couldn't remember.
I played Destiny, vanilla Destiny, like right off the bat.
Okay.
Same thing with what was that game? Where it was like 4 people and you hunted a monster.
Oh, Evolve.
I was like on the Evolve train, showing my buddies like, dude, this game's gonna be so awesome. In fact, I think it was one of the first games of services I played. And then then there just wasn't anything there. It was there's just not a fleshed out game. Obviously, no story doesn't help with that, but at the same time, it was just really repetitive.
Yeah.
So vanilla Destiny, I played a little bit of it, and I was like, this is just not for me, because you had to be in a party to kind of feel like you're in. But I mean, but at the same time, that being said, like I loved the first Division, but again, it got to the point where you have a child and you can't really get into the games of services, and the next thing you know, like, okay, I've got a chance to jump in here. Well, your group is at level 42 and you're at level 3, so then they're dragging your ass through it, and then that's just no fun, and then they gotta come down. But luckily, I have a good amount of friends like online. What's up, Grand Box? That like they don't mind going down to my level because it's like, oh, it's cool to like replay it, and we're a little more OP, but we'll let you do you do most of it, so that way you get the maximum XP.
Right.
For some reason with Anthem, I've played with a bunch of randos, but it wasn't feeling like we were all the same level size, and no one was carrying through the one, and it was really kind of an unspoken agreement, like, all right, we're gonna go over here, and it showed like where you wanted to go instead of just like, here's the open world, which I felt like Destiny was like, all right, you either go over here or go over here, where if you're doing a story mission, like you're stuck on the story mission, so you got to eventually get through it,
right?
Not where everyone's going off the same. And then at the same time, when you're collecting loot, it somehow they're able, they did a good enough job to where like every person in the party gets that piece of loot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did hear that from somebody, that they make it
it's not
fair.
it's not like everyone's rushing over there to get the loot and steal it from someone else. It's like everyone is getting their portion of the loot.
Right. Like I see my kids doing in Fortnite every time they kill somebody.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, that was my kill. Why are you taking my ammo? Blah, blah, blah.
Right. Or like how I did in Apex Legends the other day, that
nice.
I was standing over a gun, about to pick it up, and someone rushed over there, grabbed it, and walked away. And I was like, "You!"
I thought you meant you did it.
No, I did not do it to someone else. They did it to me, and so I had a grenade, and I threw it and killed him. So, don't F with my guns.
Don't mess with them. We don't bluff. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it, and like I don't have to go into work early tomorrow, so I'm like, when I get home, I might fire it up and see if it works, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if this game like crashed so hard
that it's just dead?
Like, I don't know how that would work for an online game, but yeah.
No, you'll always be able to get. The only thing I would worry about that is just when the save. Does it do a lot of auto saving and stuff? Have you noticed?
It's got to, because my kid popped out the disc the other day.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, James popped out the disc the other day, and I was like, oh well, there goes all that progression. But I gave it some time. I actually rebooted the Xbox just to make sure.
Yeah.
And then popped the disc back in, and it was like resume play, and I wasn't like at start of where he popped it out of, but I wasn't like back to the beginning. It wasn't like 2 hours. Yeah, because I was like halfway through the first mission in the entire game. And you go through probably about 30 minutes of something before I got to where I was, maybe even 45. And I was like, great, I have to do all this over again, but I was right back to where.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm definitely intrigued by it. It seems like the games as a service is not for me. Like I bought Destiny 2 last year when it was on sale to Amazon for $10. I was like, what the hell? I might as well. Because Destiny 1, all I did was I played the beta, and it just didn't click for me. Destiny 2 is $10. I said I'll get into it. I really liked it when I played it. I just like playing the game solo.
Well, did it go on sale for $10, and then a month later it came out free on PlayStation?
Yes. Yep. It did. Thanks, Sony.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love the mechanics. It felt good and everything. And then randomly you'd have people jump into your game, and then there'd be an event going on. I'd go over there and help them defeat this one big enemy, and I'd get loot, whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is fun. And then I got distracted by something came out. I don't even remember what it was at this point last year. And I just never went back to it. But like, it felt so
Resident
good.
Evil?
No, this was
it Resident Evil last year?
No, Resident Evil was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But I don't remember what was that. It might have been God of War. That would have done it. It might have been like super early in the year,
or whatever. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm definitely intrigued by it. I got scared off, like I was tweeting you in Solar, because the Metacritic was a 60.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Survive is a 60.
I think.
Come on, it cannot be Metal Gear Survive, people. Come on.
I think that's I think we're too much into it. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, this is a game. It's the online game of services, and I think we're just too much in the realm of like bitching and moaning all the time. To where if the game's not perfect when it comes out, what the hell? But it's an online based game.
Yeah,
and I think people haven't they
said they've got a 10-year plan for it or something crazy?
I don't know.
It was something like that, or maybe it was 5 years or something. The game is going to go for a long time.
And I understand, because people were burned on not only Destiny 1 but Destiny 2. Evolve, like we talked about earlier, and where there's the Fortnites and the Apex Legends and the Battle Royales are coming out and like really kicking butt, and then you've got games who should be like kind of a fleshed, and then you've got single player games like God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn. So then there's just kind of this middle of these games of services. You're like, okay, it's 2019, you could have gotten something like together by the time. And then of course, if it is a small meaty portion of a story, when you're trying to play along, I'm sure that doesn't help you. I mean, I personally would, if I don't do numbers for grading games or anything, but if I were to give it anything, I'd probably say like a 7.5.
Yeah,
that's where I feel with it. And of course, I went in with not high expectations. Like I knew I wanted to give it a try, and maybe that's another portion that people went in with like.
Oh, there was definitely some people that built it up like
people
crazy.
built it up like crazy because it's BioWare. It's an Iron Man suit of Destiny and all this stuff. So they kind of build it up in their head, and then it turned out to be what it is. I went into it like I'm going to play the game because it looks interesting. The second they was like, oh, you feel like Iron Man, I was like, I'm in.
Right.
I don't care how bad the game is. Like I'm in, and I'll figure it out from there. That's all I needed to know. And then once I got deeper into like the customization and the world was really cool, and the different little creatures that are around and what it's going to build into the story. I was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not top tier, but I also don't think it's like you said.
But it's not garbage.
Yeah,
also.
It's not. I don't think
Metal Gear Survive is garbage.
Yeah, I don't think it's garbage. I think it's a lot of fun, and just do what I do. Like with games that you're uncertain about, most places have a red box, and you can rent it for
spend $5 or whatever it is for 2 days.
$7 for 3 days.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, and so play it, and then I was like, okay, I will purchase this game because if my money helps to go to furthering this game, sure, it's not fully fleshed out right now, but I'll purchase it, and then 6 months down the line, if it's more tuned up and we get some cool DLC to further the story or whatever's going to happen, I'm down for that.
Yeah, and the other thing too is if you rent the game, your save is on your console, so if you rent it, turn it back in, then you buy it, you pick right back up where you were.
That's exactly my plan.
It's not like battery backups and cartridges back in the day. No, you can just pop right back in where you were. I
might go digital so my son doesn't pop out the disc anymore, but that's exactly my plan.
Yeah.
And now I've spent $7 more than the actual like gaming price, but I'd rather spend that $7 to $10 knowing I want a game than doing what I did with Breath of the Wild and buy a game and play it for 7 hours and never play it again.
You only put 7 hours into it?
Oh yeah. It's not a good game.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Adam's going to bust
I know, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
With Sean on his back.
Right, yeah. Sean.
Riding him like a bokoblin.
Yeah, no, I'm totally kidding.
I know.
That was probably like 45 seconds of me just apologizing about
You need to make it about 45 minutes.
Yeah, no.
I'm definitely intrigued. Like I said, I think this is one of those things where it feels like I'm going to monitor it over the next couple months as all the updates come in and they patch stuff and they do all this other stuff. And then when it goes down to inevitably $40 here in a couple months, that's probably like, okay, I think this sounds, like I said, I'm intrigued. It sounds like fun. Fix the other stuff, and I do want to play it. Yeah. I just don't want to spend $60 on it right now.
I think one of the crazy things about it is like, okay, here's Anthem that EA just put out, and it's so, and then they put out Apex Legends, which I'm sure you were about to jump into as far as question wise. And this game is literally, it's not just like a bunch of gamers being, oh cool, another battle royale game. It is like people who don't care about video games being like, all right, I'll try this, and they're like, holy crap, this is a lot of fun.
So I said when I did my solo podcast 2 weeks ago now, one of the things I said was, it was right after Apex Legends had launched. We knew it was like 2.5 million people in 24 hours, but we didn't know how big it would get, I think. Or maybe they had already hit the 12 million number. I can't remember what it was. But I said, this is so weird to me that 2 weeks before Anthem comes out, they just drop out of nowhere this Battle Royale game, and it freaking takes off. And I said then, I was like, this is weird. Are they worried about Anthem? Is something going on? And now it turns out that, again, it's not like a 95 on Metacritic or something. So they're maybe EA was like, we know how good Respawn is, and we know how good this Apex Legends is. I don't care what the timing is. And they've shown in the past they don't care about putting out Battlefield right next to whatever Titanfall a couple years ago. And they said, the hell, go with it. We'll make money off the microtransactions and stuff. But yeah, so as the reviews started rolling in, I was like, maybe Kevin was onto something.
Yeah,
they were worried about it.
Yeah, they may have been. Obviously, we'll never know, but I can't imagine that, because maybe there's that good grace. It's like, oh yeah, we did kind of stumble at the finish with Anthem, but I mean, Apex Legends is kind of doing pretty good, guys. Yeah. I mean, we're not all so bad.
Yeah. I really hope Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order actually ends up coming out. I want to see what Respawn does for that. Yeah. I'm just so burned by all the Star Wars video games now that I don't have any confidence in anything ever happening. Right. And even if it happens, I don't have confidence it'll be good after what they did to Hennig and everything else. But Respawn obviously knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
I would like to see Fallen Order actually be a real game, and hopefully a really good game as well.
Yeah. I mean, Apex Legends is fun because I think someone was telling me today it was kind of like that game that was a hit and miss with Realm Royale. Yeah, that's what it was. I couldn't remember the name of it, but they were like,
I never played it, but I heard,
I didn't either. But I was like, well, this battle royale game is really cool because people got abilities, and they were like, well, so does that game. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
Well, then it didn't catch on for some reason
No.
because it's not just the battle royale mode about it, but it's each character has a specific ability.
It's like they combined Overwatch,
exactly,
and Firewatch, Fortnite. I don't know why I did that, but it's like they combined them, and then this whole the pinging system. Again, I've only played like 4 or 5
that ping
games.
system is so cool and so different because you could be, and I've only played with random people in Apex Legends. I haven't played with anyone I normally play with, but it has been helpful of the jump master being like, we're going over here, and I was like, that seems like a bad idea, but okay, and then I was playing so new that I wanted to stick with a squad because I didn't was like, all right, I'll go off on my own and get killed immediately, where I was like, okay, I'm with my squad and get killed immediately.
When I played it, that's how I was. I was like, I'm not leaving your side.
Yeah.
Like at the first time I played, it was like, you're the jump master. I said, oh,
no,
I'm
not.
not. Somebody else take it. I do not want this pressure.
That's super cool about that game.
Yeah.
Like being like you jump out and it's like you're the jump master and you can go no. I
don't
don't think
want
so.
that.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I've done the same thing every time I've been the the jump master. I've relinquished that responsibility of someone else. I was like, you get us killed. It's not going to be me.
No, it's not going to be me. I'll get myself killed. Don't worry about that. I don't want to kill the rest of y'all.
Yeah. So that's been a lot of fun, and I think you and Logan spoke a little bit about that before, and
Logan loves it. He's still I saw him tweeting last night. They got like second place 5 times or something. I'm
gosh.
Sorry, man. It would drive me nuts. But I'm just not good enough for these games, and I'm like you say, you're blind. I just don't think I have reaction time anymore. It's like whenever I play these online shooters, it's like I see you, I go to shoot you, I'm already dead.
Yeah.
And it's just where my kids are, every time they play Fortnite, they're getting at least 3 or 4 kills. They're getting victory royales, all this stuff. I'm like, you're 11 and 8. How are you this much better than me? But then I think back to like when we were kids, like my dad
couldn't figure out Mario.
He could play Mario a little bit. I remember my mom, I'll never forget the first time she played it on Christmas morning. She did it, boop, boop. She walked right in the Goomba, died, and she's like, well, I'm not doing this. And then Tetris came out and she wrecked us all. But it's like I remember like when I got good at sports video games and my dad would still play against me and I started to kick his butt and he'd get pissed. And I'm like, now I know what it feels like.
Right, yeah.
But
So I don't think, I mean, if people are tuning in for some good Apex Legends conversation, I don't think this is where the podcast they need to listen to for it, but I've had a lot of fun with that. Just the few matches that I've played, I can definitely see myself. I planned on playing it this weekend, but I got so enthralled with Anthem that I just never even turned Apex Legends on.
Yeah,
should have last night when I realized that Anthem wasn't even going to boot up. But I was like, man, it was like 10:45.
Your
like,
Xbox just exploded.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying this anymore. Yep.
So what about this monstrosity that is Kingdom Hearts?
Oh my gosh, dude. So I clearly got caught up in the hype too with like Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out and this game being where it is now, and I'm a huge Disney fan, so I was like, why did I never play these? Oh yeah, because I hate RPGs at the time, and turn-based as well. But it's so funny, like, I mean, with turn-based RPGs, you clearly need a crap more load strategy than what the Western RPGs, like, Final Fantasy 15 and kind of like Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3. But it's been a lot of fun, and it's funny watching Adam playing RPGs when we were growing up. Like, it must have been like a future Nick trying to tell me like to pay attention, because you don't have to use that much strategy in Kingdom Hearts because you are running around, so you can just throw up items or attack whenever you need to. But there's still some RPG elements of there. I'm like, okay, make sure you give this person an X amount of potions to make sure that or then set Donald to make sure that he's only defensive, and then Goofy's whatever. But it's been a fun like little story mode.
It's just when you hear people, it's just when you think about it, like your party is Sora, Donald, and Goofy, and it's just when I actually think about it, it's just like it's just so funny to me. Like, I want to play this game. I
think you would enjoy. I mean, there should be a part of me too. Like, I'm sure there's a strategy for each world of when you get like to Agrabah, or you get to Little Mermaid stage, or when you get to Tarzan stage, or whatever. And like, there's probably a strategy of which of the two of Goofy or Donald you take out to put in that character if you would do it all. I don't know what that strategy is.
Right, that would be
I
me
just
too.
turn it like, okay, well, I took Donald out this time, so I'm taking Goofy out and putting Peter Pan in this time. So like, there's no real strategy behind it.
That would be me. Or
No,
I would
just-
look
I
at a
just-
guy
yeah.
because I would just be like, I'm
Yeah.
just.
Now I do so, and then I am cheating a little bit by I have a walkthrough in front of me.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to spend a lot of time of like. I really don't care about solving every single puzzle, or I'm not trying to, grab the platinum for this game or anything. I just want to like ingest the story, get what's going on, and then just move forward. But it is very much Final Fantasy of, people not really like having good conversation and like having a point of like, hey, why are you doing this? Here's my sword and we're gonna fight. Like, well, hold on. Can we just wait before? Okay, I guess not. Like, why are you being bad? Like, we were childhood friends. Why are you bad now? So there's that. But it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed playing and getting different keyblades. And the other day I did the Peter Pan level and like getting the ability to fly and
That's awesome.
fly around with Peter Pan. And then I think
I saw you tweet that.
yeah, I think I did a picture, and I don't remember if it was Peter Pan and I don't know, but yeah, like behind, it was a perfect backdrop of like the full moon, Big Ben, and you flying away from it. And I was like, that's just a cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
This like I'm controlling a person who's now in like a Disney world and Sora with Disney characters behind me, and so I can't wait to get into like Kingdom Hearts 2 and see where it goes. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 with Toy Story and Big Hero 6 and stuff like that. And then the summons, like, because that's so Final Fantasy, is I have summons. So the first summon you get is like Simba, and then you get Genie. And now I think I have Tinkerbell, and it's not Will Smith.
Thank God.
It's also not Robin Williams. But so like having even like Dumbo and flying around on him, it's just so cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's so cool to like have a summon, because in the Final Fantasy games it was like Behemoth or whatever the other. I don't know. I mean, Sean or Adam would know obviously better than
they're
me.
gonna break through the wall again.
You're right, but the summon is Simba or the summon is the Genie. Or
That's
like I
so
said.
cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And it's really a nostalgic feeling of visiting these different Disney worlds of Tarzan and. Said Agrabah and Aladdin and just find the magic carpet, stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun.
See, now you're making me.
And then like what I got was the 1.5 and 2.5 remix version. So it's got every single game up to Kingdom Hearts 3. So what I'll probably end up doing is playing through 1, playing through 2, and the other games like maybe jumping into them, but then just like YouTubing the actual story. And plus, I also bought Alexa Ray Korea's book about Kingdom Hearts 2, the boss fight books.
I love those boss fight books.
Yeah.
I've got 4 of them now. I've only read the one on Mario 2. I've got Mario 2, Mario 3, Metal Gear, obviously, and Shovel Knight is the other one.
Yeah, I've only got the Kingdom Hearts 2 one.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot. It's been so much fun. I've enjoyed it, and where it was just kind of like the Anthem feeling is where I was sitting at work. I was like, I want to go home and play Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But if I didn't feel like playing Kingdom Hearts, I wouldn't. So I really didn't want to like rush through it just to get through it. But it's loads and loads of fun.
See, I think I'm probably going to end up getting 3 just because it's also like I don't know what's going to happen this year. Like from the rest of this year now, so we've got my 2 most anticipated games by far that we know are coming out is Bloodstained is finally coming out and Link's Awakening remake.
Right.
After that, I'm like, is Last of Us going to come out? Death Stranding's not going to come out. I don't really care about Days Gone. Sekiro interests me. That's April. Oh my God, is that April?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And we'll see. And then so for me, I am interested in Days Gone. I'm like really, really interested in Days Gone. I think I've made that pretty obvious. I think of our group of friends and the Nerd 901 team, I'm probably the most interested in Days Gone as far as having conversations with everyone. So yeah, I am packing in a lot of games in January and February and March because come April, I'll be stuck on Days Gone. And then kind of back to your thing is after that, we really don't know what the summer or the fall is bringing us.
Mario Maker. Forgot about Mario Maker. Oh my God, I can't wait.
And so like some of those games, like the games you said, like the Bloodstained, Mario Maker, and Link's Awakening, like I won't play those games. So the summer and fall right now look pretty bleak to me. So at least I have to get through Days Gone, and then if I don't finish with Kingdom, I obviously won't finish Kingdom Hearts, the entire trilogy at least by that time. So I can fall back onto Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3 going into summer and fall.
See, I think and that's what I think is once we get to the Dead spot for me, which could be pretty soon. Like I'm already like, so I beat RE2. I beat both playthroughs. I don't want to go back and do the other A and the other B yet. I need some time before I go back and do that. And I didn't like that. Oh, that was the other thing. I tried the DLC. I didn't really like it.
That's the Survivor, not the Survivor.
The Ghost
but like,
Survivors. It's like, it's very.
I mean, it's like so. That DLC. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but so is that DLC like when you beat the DLC, does that person actually survive? Like you get an alternate timeline?
It's basically just. What would have happened if they could have gotten out? This is what their story would have been.
And then they die.
And then they actually, I don't know because I didn't beat it.
Oh,
because
okay.
that's what I was going to say. These game modes are so like, the whole point of Resident Evil 2 and why I give it like a 9 or a little bit above a 9 out of 10 is like, this is the best survival horror game I've ever played.
Right.
I think it's better than 7. It's better than 4. It's better than 1. God bless 1. That thing does need a true remake. But then you get to this DLC, and I was so excited for it. I was like, yeah, more Resident Evil. But it's not. It's just like, okay, here's your backstory, and you start here, and there's a timer going. And it's all, like, not even high score. It's beat the clock challenge. It's like, how fast can you get through this scenario where you're basically running through Raccoon City, and you're dodging zombies, and you're dodging this one, and then this guy's
so you're not doing puzzles or anything like that anymore. It's just basically a free-for-all shoot 'em up.
It's a race to get to the end with limited ammo, limited resources, and can you make it to the end? I was like, I tried it.
That's kind of a bummer.
I don't like this, and because I don't like it, I'm just not gonna. It doesn't sour my my thoughts on the game or anything.
DLC?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at least there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think, and when I've heard people on IGN and Tim talk about it, kind of funny and stuff. Oh, by the way, shout out to Tim. Finally, about damn time, dude. I was wondering when that was going to happen. He proposed to his girlfriend, Gia Tap Harris. I'm like, they do make it sound fun. I'm like, I just need to forget that I will have no idea what the hell is going on with it.
Right.
If it's just get lost in Disney, have some fun, beautiful game, all these characters you love and these worlds you love and this music, and they like Frozen is in it, and I'm
dude, I'm just super excited to get into that, jump into that world again. Like I said, Toy Story and Big Hero 6 says I really appreciate Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
And then Monsters Inc. I don't care too much for the Pirates of the Caribbean just because I didn't really care too much for the movies.
Yeah, same.
But that being said, it looks so cool because it looks like a real life movie.
Yeah.
And the different animated ways they did it in Kingdom Hearts 3, they took their time with it, obviously. But excuse me, but I'm looking forward to progressing the story and seeing where all these other characters come from. And of course, you always hear about how convoluted the story is, and so far the story's not convoluted. I don't know what happens the in between games, the other in between games, and then into the third. And that's where I think playing the first one, playing the second one, and then reading about the other in between games and reading Alexa Ray Correa's book, that hopefully will just kind of piece the puzzle of any.
Yeah.
Just don't I've just told myself I just can't get really drunk and play the game and forget.
You're like, wait,
yeah,
what happened?
Yeah,
who is that? Why is he mad at Winnie the Pooh?
Right.
I'm definitely. I think I will end up playing it just because, but I don't know. Sean definitely said he's going to play it. He's obviously got his hands full.
Has he never played the series beforehand?
No, he's played 1 and 2. I don't think he played any of the spin-offs, but he played 1 and 2.
Yeah, I know Adam played 1 and 2.
Yeah, he loved it. He's just he's busy right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I
don't know.
So I have been playing one of your favorite games of all time, I'm sure.
Mortal Kombat?
No, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
Tease. Majora's Mask.
Yeah, yep.
So this is a game that has scared... He hates Zelda. This is a game just like Logan.
Hate Zelda.
Just like Logan. This is a game that has terrified me ever since the time it came out. So it came out in 2000. I'm playing it on the 3DS, obviously. I got Majora's Mask 3D for Christmas, and I was like, I'm going to play ACO first.
Is it a Nintendo 64 game?
Yeah. ACO first, which actually, that's another thing I'm probably never going to go back to it now. Because just thinking of how big that game is, and I'm like, it was fun, but I don't even think it's not even platinuming it. I don't see how I can ever beat this game.
Yeah.
It's just,
like you said, kind of
too big.
With that, like you said, with Dead Period, maybe you jump back into it.
Right.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least for me too.
But yeah, this game terrified me because the whole 3-day thing, and I'm like, well, this is just going to stress me out. And when you
3-day thing.
So the whole thing is, Link has just defeated Ganon in Ocarina of Time. This basically takes place right after Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
He needs a break, so he goes off into the woods to just, like, I need to get away from Hyrule for a little bit. He gets run into by this guy called the Skull Kid, and he steals his horse and runs away, and he's the guy with the mask that you always see jumping around and stuff. And then you go in there and you meet this guy, and he's like, hey, you see that big moon with the crazy face? It's going to come crashing down in 3 days if you don't do something. And at the bottom of your main screen, you've got a clock.
Oh, wow.
That basically, I love how they changed it. So on the original one in the 3D, in the Nintendo 64, it was just like, it was like a half circle with a big arrow, and it would say like first, second, or third. So you know what day it was, but then you'd also have to, now it just like, you've got day 1, day 2, day 3. It's just this bar that goes across. It tells you exactly what the time is. If the sun's up, sun's down, whatever. But basically, you have to get to a certain point in the story so that you can learn the Song of Time from Ocarina, so you can rewind time. And once I started playing it, I was like, this doesn't stress me out anymore because you don't lose, like... what I was worried was, like, do I have to beat this game in 72 hours?
Right.
Otherwise, I'm going to lose, like, my shield, my sword, and all this other stuff. Any main items you get, you don't lose them. Now, but what does reset every 72 hours is your bombs, your arrows, all that stuff.
In real lifetime?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
wow.
no, it's 72 hours in game time, which is about 72 minutes, I think, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
But then you also learn a song where you can slow down time, so it basically lasts twice as long.
Got it.
But all you do is you go out of the main town and you see bushes and you hack them up, and all of a sudden you refill your arrows and your bombs and you're good.
Yeah.
And there's a banker in town that you can give your rupees to. So as long as you do that before you play the song,
deposit them off.
Yeah. So now I'm up to like 2,200 rupees. Like, I'll never use them all. But this game terrified me for almost 20 years, and I freaking love it.
Good.
Like, I've been texting Sean, and he's like, I cannot believe. He's like, I knew you would like this game.
Yeah.
But he said it seems like you like this quicker than you liked Ocarina. Because, like, when I finally played Ocarina, I was like, it's just not clicking for me. Something just doesn't feel right. And I don't know if it's maybe now that I've played Ocarina, I know how this style of Zelda game plays. Yeah. And maybe that's why. I don't know.
Did you play those games? I know, obviously not Majora's Mask, but like Ocarina. Did you play it before Breath of the Wild or after?
I played it a year before.
Okay.
Year before. Which, again, but I was like 18 years late at that time.
Yeah, well, with Zelda 1 and Link's Awakening and all that stuff, did you play that stuff in the past before, or did you really just recently get into Zelda over the past, like, few years?
No, I've been a fan of Zelda 1 and Zelda 3 almost as long as I've been sentient. It's the 3D Zeldas that I was always like, Zelda to me is top down. So I played 1, I played 3, oh God, the Link's Awakening a little bit. I never beat it because I didn't have a Game Boy. I just played on emulator.
Yeah.
Sorry. The Minish Cap I loved on Game Boy Advance, but I was always like, the 3D Zeldas just didn't feel right to me. And then once I played them, I was like, okay, I loved Ocarina. That was fun. Then I went back and I played Twilight Princess. I love that. Now, then Breath of the Wild came out. Now I'm playing Majora's Mask. Now I love them.
Yeah.
But the thing that's been the most fun for me about this game is, so you got the main area, which is Clock Town, which is kind of like your hub, and you can either go north, south, east, or west. And when you walk out, everything's open once you get out there, but it's like there's the snowy area to the north, and then down south is the swamp, and over here is ocean, and over here is like the mountains. And you can go, like, you're supposed to go to the swamp first, but when you get there, it's not like you just go there and you go to the dungeon, you beat it, and you reset time, whatever. There's like 2 or 3 areas inside of there, and there's all these like side quests, and you've got this notebook that keeps track of when you talk to people, and it's like, hey, I noticed this guy said that if you find this woman running around, she'll sell you a big bomb bag if you do whatever. And so you get these side quests, but it's so, like, it just feels natural. And the most fun, what I'm trying to say is, the most fun I've had in this game is just running around the world, discovering stuff in this area, trying to get it all done, see if I can get it done for 72 hours. But again, it's not stressful because if you can't get it done, you just warp back to town because there's fast travel also. Uh-huh. You warp back to town, deposit your rupees, rewind time, and say, well, I'll try it again tomorrow.
So...
Tomorrow. I'll try it again 2 days ago.
What platform are you playing this on?
3DS.
Okay. So when you rewind time... So if you don't rewind time and then 72 hours ends...
Okay.
Does a moon strike
So my first 72 hours...
Like how long? Basically, like how long is it till you get learn the the time and the slowdown time?
Probably about 45 minutes if you know what you're doing. I didn't know what I was doing at first. So I get to the area and I'm running around. There's this kid up here and he's like, hey, there's a secret lab over here, but you got to get the code from us if you want to go through the secret passage. Oh, but we're going to play hide and seek. I should have. And their numbers were on their backs apparently, which is funny. But they go hide around. There's 5 of them. And they basically hide in 5 different areas around town. I couldn't find one of them. And like you only have a certain amount of time. You got until like the morning or the night or whatever based on when you start. And I couldn't find these little at first. And I texted Sean. I was like, I don't know what the hell. At the very beginning, I was like, I hate this game. I hate it so much. I don't want to play this. I can't find these stupid kids. But once you find them, it opens up the secret path. You go to this observatory. You look out. You see the skull kid dancing over here. You get this one thing for a guy, and then you go talk to somebody else, and then you get the ocarina, and then you can reset time.
Got it.
I didn't get all that done the first day, though, and I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't because by the time the moon came crashing down on me, I knew what I needed to do, and I was like, whatever, I'll just do it again. It's not that big a deal. But it's crazy. Like, as you get to the final day, as the moon starts getting... And you can look up and see this thing just getting gigantic, and it's like, holy crap, this is so cool, especially if you turn the 3D on. Usually I play with it off, but I'll turn it on sometimes just to see cool things like that. And it's like... The music starts getting crazier and crazier, and if you talk to people, they're like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. We're all going to die. I'm like, this is so depressing. But then you see, like, as it gets closer, like every minute, like it like shakes and the whole screen shakes because there's this gigantic moon that's about to crash in the world. Oh, it's so cool.
It's like Thanos pulling down.
Yeah. And it's like when I've read people online, they're like, when I was reading tips before I started, like not a guide, but like, this is what you should do. Make sure you find this, do this, whatever. They were like, make sure you let time run out at least
just
once,
to see
just
it.
so you can see it. Because
that
is
seems
so
pretty
cool.
Yeah, that's something I think I would do. And also just be bad at the game.
So I've beaten 2 out of the 4 dungeons so far. I'm doing some side quests now. I wish this game, I don't think it keeps track how long you've played it, which is just, again, one of my biggest pet peeves in games. Like, I want to know how many hours I've put into this game.
Well, so don't look forward to that in Kingdom Hearts because I think it counts the hours for just like, I want to say like I saw that total hours and I was like, wait, there's no way I played that many hours. So I think it might just like continue to like endless clock.
This is when you started and then you beat it 17 weeks later.
Yeah.
But I really like it. I like it way more than I thought I would. Like I said, I was dreading it for 20 years and I absolutely love it.
Good.
The other thing I've been playing, I just want to say that PlayStation VR is pretty freaking cool.
Did you borrow Sean's?
So we went over there to see Kira maybe a week ago, and we brought them some like old baby clothes and toys and stuff.
Right.
And we had the whole family with us, so it was obviously crazy. You got poor Murphy's over in his kennel, and he's barking like, I want to play, I want to play. It's like, well, there's 4 kids running around. Kira's trying to sleep. We're here. And I saw that Sean had moved his PSVR from the upstairs man cave downstairs, and I was looking at it, he goes, you want to try it? And it was almost like a drug dealer, like, you want to hit?
Right.
And I'm like, yes.
Sure.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do. Thank you.
And I was like, just please don't put in Resident Evil 7 because I don't want to poop my pants in front of my family.
Right.
That's
always a good goal to have.
He gets it on. I tighten it all. I do this. And immediately, as soon as I turn it on, I'm like, holy crap, this is freaking cool. The one thing I will say is everybody talking about the whole, what do they call it? Like the screen door effect. I get it, but like, I'm not expecting this to be 4K.
Right.
You know, whatever. So he put in Astrobot for me. And the first time, so when you start that, have you played it yet?
No.
Did Adam keep his?
Yeah.
He did. Okay. Because I remember that he did the whole, the trial program thing or something.
He kept his, he brought it for live stream.
That's right.
But did anyone ever play it?
No.
Well, no, they did.
Oh, they did?
They all were gone.
Okay.
I was hella asleep. They played at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think Paul played, I want to say Resident Evil.
Okay.
At like 3 o'clock in the morning. I can't confirm
nor
that
deny,
because I was asleep and I haven't gone back to look that far into the footage.
But Astrobot is so you start out and it's like, this is so cool. And the little Astrobot's so cute and he's jumping around. He like waves at you like it's breaking the fourth wall. Like, hey, I know you're here. Hey, buddy. And it's cool. Like you start the game by you look around and they like once you pick your level, there's like a silhouette of a controller there and you take your controller and you go and you move it into that silhouette and it goes boom. I'm like, oh. Sean's over here laughing like, yeah, I know it's cool.
Yeah.
So I start the game. I'm looking around, and like it takes full. Now I get how games that are not for first person can work in VR.
Right.
Like I get it. I want to play Moss too, but I'll get to that. At some
Adam
point.
loves that game.
Yeah, Sean loves it too. He said it was just so amazing.
Yeah.
But the first time I moved from like a static screen where I was like jumping up over here to go up and get this coin, come back down here, go over here, and then it's like progress through the level. It was the weirdest freaking thing. As soon as I started walking forward and that camera moved and I was not taking a step, I immediately was like, whoa, I get why everybody talks about the whole motion sickness thing and everything.
Right.
My mind was freaking blown. I took like 2 steps and had to stop, and I was like, holy crap, Sean, what is happening? And he's just laughing at me. And I got used to it. It was more like once I started moving, I was okay. But once you stop and start again, that was when it always seemed to hit me like, holy crap, this is I should be walking, but I'm not walking. What the hell is happening, body? I only played it for like 30 minutes or something, or probably not even that long. And then the kids tried it. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah, I want to try the PSVR version because I've done not the Oculus, maybe I don't know. It's one of the PC based ones. The Rec Room has the room. I don't know what I played, but I was like, this is gonna be awesome when the PS4 one or the PSVR comes out and you're doing like actual games. Yep, that's probably gonna be a lot of fun.
I can't wait for the PS5 and the PSVR 2 because that's when I'm going to end up, sorry, Jess, between the system and the VR spending like $1,000.
Yeah.
When they do get it to that next level, when they even, hopefully it maybe can even be wireless. That would be freaking awesome.
Speaking of VR, are you reading friend of the show Blake J. Harris's book yet?
No, I saw you tweet that the other day. I was like, well, what the crap? I didn't even know that was out. Like I saw Colin like a month ago got an advanced copy, and I was like, yeah, I can't wait for this. And I never went back and like pre-ordered it on Amazon or anything.
Yeah.
So no. Is it good?
Dude, it is so it's so funny to like be reading this book about the people who made Oculus and they got bought by Facebook and all that stuff. But you're reading through it to where the guy's name is I want to say it's Lucky Palmer.
Palmer Lucky, yeah.
Palmer Lucky, thank you. But it's so funny of reading through this and some, like the big names that are popping out, like the guy who created software and like him reaching out to Palmer and the people who started up Gaikai, who of course we know got bought by Sony for their PS Now troubled PS Now online service. But even
just copy Game Pass for crying out loud. Just let us download PS4 games.
Right.
Just whatever.
But so like seeing these big time names pop up. Sorry, there was a notification on my phone that kind of caught me by surprise. But anyways, these big names that are popping up, you're like, dude. And I'm sitting there, so
That's crazy.
So the other day I took a kind of an early afternoon from work. Oh, dude, that would have been so bad. I took an early afternoon from work and went to a bar and grabbed a beer and put in. Of course, just like Console Wars, I don't know why I was shocked this time, but I wasn't expecting consoles would be as thick. But this book is just as thick. I mean, it's
like,
huge.
Holy crap, yeah.
So I was sitting there and I'm reading it, and of course I get in the zone and I'm just like smiling and kind of chuckling at myself. Like some of these big names that are being dropped, as far as what this Palmer person went through and who's reaching out to him. And, he just started in a trailer parked outside his folks' house.
That's insane.
And I was like, can you just imagine sitting there one day and the guy who created id Software, and his name's escaping me, so I apologize. But the guy who created id Software, who helped make Doom and make Wolfenstein and all those games, are calling you like, hey, about VR. Or, there was one other big name that was in there that I just like, it just floored me that this person was reaching out to him. But it's too crazy. I'm not even 5 chapters in. I'm already just so astonished by the book itself, obviously because of Blake's writing, but just the fact of where we are now with VR. Because even back then, 10 years ago, it was VR's up and coming, and then it just died. Yeah. I mean, it just utterly died.
They went the way of like 3D TVs and stuff like that.
And 3D movies now, it feels like. So, they just utterly died, and now we're back to where, okay, like, especially because now I think that with the Oculus and the Rift, those being PC-based, that people are kind of enjoying it, but I think PSVR is going to really be the one that continues to lead the front into the future because it's so much more accessible about not having to run it off a PC rig. And if, by the time that the PS5 is around, I mean, it's basically, PS4 too, but it's basically a PC in its own right. And then being a lot more accessible and having the PS4 games like Moss, like Astrobot, like Beat Saber, and then having PS4 experiences like Batman, the Arkham Batman, and the Until Dawn.
Get that. Oh,
yeah. Or the Until Dawn on rail shooter type games, Resident Evil 7. Is Resident Evil a remake?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so even then, just kind of the big name titles that now you can put this sucker in VR.
Yeah,
where
we got like Doom VFR, virtual freaking reality. It's so cool that they did that. And then you got like Fallout 5. Did I dream that? Did Fallout have a VR mode? Borderlands got a VR game.
Borderlands did, but I don't
maybe
think
that's
Fallout
what I'm
did. Yeah,
of. Okay.
But could you imagine? And then
Fallout 5 doesn't exist.
No, I was just to correct you on that. But can you imagine like a game like? I've got two scenarios, but like BioShock, like a game that people loved in BioShock, and then being so submersive in underwater, and then the little girls, and being 3D with the Big Daddy coming after you, like that's terrifying. But also at the same time really cool. And then I think we're probably I wouldn't want to say we're too terribly far from VR, even just like experiences like the Oscars last night. Like if you purchase a VR set and you buy a ticket, $20-$30, you're sitting inside the Oscars.
Oh, hey Bradley.
Right, yeah.
What's up, Gaga?
Yeah, or even better for us gamers,
yes,
you're sitting inside an E3 press. That I think would be really cool to say. And then you could then eventually we're going to the ways of Ready Player One.
Yeah.
As far as never leaving the house, whatever.
You're in the Matrix at that point.
Right.
But that's what I've always said. Like that's what encourages me the most about VR is like I want to go visit like Jerusalem and stuff in the Middle East and Egypt and see the pyramids and stuff. I ain't ever going to the Middle East. I'm not going anywhere near the Middle East anytime soon. But if you could just put on a hat and just lose yourself and just like freaking be there. Like even like WWF started doing it, like the big paper. I think they did at the Rumble. They had a VR camera there right up on the barrier.
Oh, really?
I don't think you can watch it live. I think you have to watch it taped or something, probably, because that's got to be a nightmare to try to do that live. But yeah, stuff like that is just so freaking cool. And the one thing I've said on here probably literally a million times that I would love is if Firewatch just, they dropped an update and said, hey, now you can play in VR.
Yeah.
And just to walk around that world in the Shoshone and just look around at this beautiful world they've cracked it, I was like, that would just be amazing.
Well, yeah, I mean, at what point where's the threshold? Because jumping into God of War or Spider-Man in VR or Horizon Zero Dawn VR. I mean, at what point when we get to PlayStation 5, are they just kind of porting it?
Yeah.
To the VR system.
Well, that's like what was Assassin's Creed Origins? They didn't have the VR mode, but they had Discovery mode or whatever it was, where you could just walk around the world, and it was almost like an interactive tour of Egypt.
Yeah.
Something like that. That's kind of like what I was saying. Is like, but what if you could do that in VR and just walk around? It'd be so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, PSVR and VR in general.
I gotta try it.
It's freaking cool.
Steal it from Adam. I
get it now.
Yeah.
I definitely get it. At this point in the life cycle, I'm not going to buy one, especially now that Sean has one.
Yeah,
there's really no need. I do still have to go over there one night and just be like, all right, whatever.
Just do 2 hours or 3 hours of the VR.
Put Resident Evil in.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Put a camera on me if you want. I don't care. Whatever. Yeah.
That's all you, big boy.
It's so cool.
Not for me.
It's so cool. All right, you want to get to the news of the week?
Gosh, you got the short version of that news of the week.
We'll fly through this. This first headline comes from IGN, and it's a sad one. Reggie Fils-Aime has retired, and he has been replaced by Bowser. Only at Nintendo.
Right.
Again, this comes from IGN. Nintendo of America's president, Reggie Fils-Aime, is retiring, with Doug Bowser set to replace him as president. Nintendo officially announced the transition this afternoon. This was earlier this week. After 15 years at Nintendo of America, almost 13 of which were as president and COO, Fils-Aime will retire on April 15th. Nintendo of America's current SVP of Sales and Marketing, Doug Bowser, will then succeed him as president. Fils-Aime has been in the public eye since Nintendo's E3 2004 press conference, where he went on stage saying, My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names, and we're about making games. Reggie is just, God, I love this man. That was me editorializing. Following this, Fils-Aime has been a public-facing figure at Nintendo, frequently appearing in press conferences, directs, and more. While at Nintendo of America, he expanded the company's presence in the United States, establishing a key sales and marketing office in Redwood City, California, and building a new Nintendo of America headquarters in Redmond, Washington. Fils-Aime began his career at Nintendo of America in 2003 as EVP of Sales and Marketing, becoming its president and COO just 3 years later. In a message to fans posted on the Nintendo of America Twitter account, Fils-Aime says, quote, "I wanted to reach out directly to you, the Nintendo community, because there's one thing I really want to say. Thank you. Thank you for your never-ending support and for your passionate love of Nintendo, and personally for giving me a Mushroom Kingdom full of incredible memories that I will never forget." End quote. Doug Bowser, and then in parentheses, IGN writes, "No relation." That is freaking awesome. Joined Nintendo of America in May 2015 as VP of Sales. He has since led the sales and marketing efforts for the Switch, which became 2018's best-selling console. Bowser was previously an executive at EA and worked at Procter & Gamble in various sales leadership roles. Blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much it. This is just like, it is crazy to me when I think of Nintendo. I think of Mario, and I think of Zelda, and then I think of Aonuma and Miyamoto, but then it's like, but Reggie is in that conversation.
Yeah.
Like, my body is ready. He created one of the best internet memes of all time when they were doing the the Fit board or whatever the hell it was. Like,
I mean, and also, you think, Phil Spencer's been great for Xbox, obviously. I mean, clearly, even right now, when
he's killing it.
And it's funny, I think the last time that you and I did just the two of us podcasting about just video games in general is when the news broke that Phil Spencer would be heading the whole entire video game board. It went from being the leader of it to like he's now getting his imagination, much like Reggie and much like Sean Layden with PS4. But of the three of them, you would think that Reggie is kind of more in the media and the spotlight, more outgoing than the other two, and he's always just been the face of Nintendo for what felt like 50 years.
It's what I'm saying. It feels like 2004. It feels like it was even longer than that.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like he's always been there.
But at the same time, though, it's because how much we see him and how much we enjoy him and him as a personality. You think back to like, man, it was 2004. It feels like it was just yesterday.
Also, I agree.
Like he's just one of those special people, especially in the community of video gaming, that you never thought we would have had as someone like for a voice of video gamers, and then you also never thought that he would ever be gone, or especially before Sean Layden or Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
But here we are, and the retirement's out, and you're just like, well, what are we going to do moving forward?
That's what I mean. Like
is Bowser going to be as prolific as a character as Reggie? Probably not, because that might be Reggie's personality. But I've seen some videos of Bowser, and he's getting just as he's having just as much fun. I mean, he's a gamer, so when you're at that level, I mean, the sky is endless, and why wouldn't you have fun?
That's the thing. Like, Reggie was clearly a Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
That was just ascended up to this level where he got pretty much all of our dream jobs. Like, and then when you look at some of these clips, like in Reggie's video, like when he talks about Bowser replacing him and stuff, you see him coming out on stage and his jacket says like Year of the Bowser, or Team Bowser, whatever it was. Like, he has fun with it. Like, he clearly seems like he's a fan of video games as well. I don't think he would be in that position if he wasn't. And it also makes me think, like, I loved growing up in the console wars. I did. It was fun. I can't imagine if there was Twitter back then with Genesis versus Super Nintendo, what that would have been like. But I loved the little rivalry going back and forth and all the marketing and like, you suck, no, you suck, blah, 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 and going back. And Nintendo really never said you suck. They always took the high road because they were Nintendo. As much as I love that, though, like, I love that we can get to a Game Awards where you have Reggie and Phil and Sean come out on stage, no matter how stage it was, whatever. That was one of the coolest moments of last year, period, to see those three guys like, hey, we're here. We love video games. We want to celebrate them on all consoles for all gamers, and we're all about this. I love that we are in this era where PlayStation can say, like, congrats Xbox, and vice versa. And it's like, it almost seems like there's been some funny quotes in the past of Reggie, taking shots at people and stuff too. But like overall, it seems like I think he's had a big hand in that. Like he has just been such a like for the gamer person.
Yeah.
That I think it's kind of rubbed off on the other two companies as well. Mm-hmm. And I just hate it. Like I'm gonna miss him with his dopey face and with all when he's in the pre-recorded videos and doing the Switch, like all that stuff.
We'll be out in public. I mean, I remember seeing the video of when they were promoting and marketing Mario Odyssey, and then having a bunch of people surrounded with him. And it's in the video. If you haven't seen it, go to Nintendo of America's Twitter page or this website in general and watch the actual video that Reggie put out for his retirement. But you see it's him, tossing up the cappy. And it's just small stuff like that makes you appreciate. And kind of circling back to what you were saying as far as him feeling like he was the cornerstone of, hey, we're all gamers and we're here like, yeah, it's friendly competition, but it's much like how professional athletes treat themselves and their sport of, like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant may talk trash to each other on the court, but when it's all over and done with, it's
shake hands
and hug pounds,
give some dap.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that where you see during E3 Phil Spencer tweet out to either Sean Layden or oh my god, the other Sony, the Japan Sony, Shuhei Yoshida. They're like, hey, great press, can't wait to see what's going forward.
Congrats, God of War, Spider-Man's awesome, whatever. Yeah.
And then you see, and then that trickles down to the studios. I mean, you see people, and of course, they're owned by, they're not owned, but you see, Santa Monica is clearly owned by Sony, but Insomniac's not. Right. But you see Santa Monica Studios for God of War congratulating Spider-Man or Insomniac in such a great game, and then vice versa, and then that goes down to Guerrilla, who's also not. I guess Guerrilla is owned by
their first
Sony,
party,
but it's trickling down to the studios, to the developers of, hey, we're all here to make, unless you're EA, but we're all here to make
Activision.
To make games for us because we're just as much as the community as you and I are.
Yeah.
And I think that stems from like having such a great personality in Reggie, and he will be missed. I'm happy for him. Like he's retiring on cloud 9. I mean, Switch is probably the most successful Nintendo launch.
Yeah, you can't go out on much more of a high note than the Switch.
If, even with that, you want to count it something as that metric. But yeah, so you got, and he helped get, the people here in front of this Mario and the Legend and Zelda out, and then market it up and continue the Switch. And then, of course, I don't know, I can't remember if you had it on the news report, but what's happening with Microsoft.
Speaking of, Nick, is Game Pass coming to the freaking Nintendo Switch?
Give me Cuphead.
According to a report
on the Switch
from Direct Feed Games, an outlet that has a strong track record for rumors, especially centering around Nintendo, Microsoft and Nintendo are about to get together in a big way in the near future. Not only will some Microsoft games find their way to the Switch, but it looks like the entire Game Pass library might arrive via the magic of streaming. The report states that Microsoft is looking into publishing some of their own catalog to the Switch in the form of actual ports. This is in no way strange for Microsoft, who has dabbled in things like lending out Rare for games on Nintendo systems and developing and publishing games on Nintendo consoles such as Minecraft. Microsoft-owned developers like Ninja Theory and Obsidian are still self-publishing their games on the Switch and other systems as well. The game specifically mentioned by Direct Feed is Ori and the Blind Forest, a crown jewel in Microsoft's lower-key publishing initiatives. Additionally, the report goes on to say that Microsoft will be leveraging their announced Project X Cloud streaming service to bring Xbox One games to the Switch. While the Switch can't natively play, as a hypothetical example, Gears 5, it could stream it over the internet. This will be done through Game Pass, which will allow players to subscribe via service to access a Netflix-style library of games. Talking to our own sources, and this came from Game Informer, I don't know if I said that, it's been suggested that the announcement of Game Pass on Switch could come as soon as this year. This isn't surprising, as Microsoft has been eager to expand Game Pass out as far as they can, announcing plans to revamp it for PC. Project X Cloud is a means to an end to get people who don't own Xbox products to spend money on Xbox services, making the Switch a perfect vector for it. For Nintendo, it means that games are unfeasible on the console due to hardware limitations can come to the Switch in some form and provides an added value for them. Another addendum here. The site J-Video does say that they are confirming that both Ori and Cuphead will be coming to the Switch.
Well, I don't know that website.
You're not big on French video game websites.
Yeah,
they're a big website in France.
Okay.
I've heard the name a lot before, but this is freaking awesome. This is like think in the Switch in Japan. They've done this in Japan. They haven't done it here, but you've been able to stream ACO and you've been able to stream Resident Evil 7 on the little baby Switch, powered through the cloud, streaming all this other stuff. And a lot of people that got hands on with it said it worked great. This is
Cuphead
freaking
is
crazy.
Cuphead's built for the Switch. Are you kidding
my gosh,
me?
yes.
Boy,
Especially playing that on the go would be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, just go ahead and fire me. Because I will just be stuck to my Switch playing it. Because I love that game. I never beat it on Xbox, but I love that. And then if you put both, I knew the new Ori game's not out yet. I don't even know if we have a release date for that one yet.
I think it might just be 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you put the original Ori on there and then the new one on there and then Cuphead. Do that. Okay, listen. Do that before September, because even though I tell Adam I'm going to keep going back to Breath of the Wild for my trip to the Dominican Republic in September.
You're like, no, please don't make me play Breath of the Wild.
Well, I joked that I'm going to get the Switch version of Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch and PlayStation so I can play it on the go. And then there's another game on the Switch that I thought about playing, but I can't think of the name of it. But if Cuphead is on the Switch by September, yeah. Like they're gonna force me out of the plane.
That's a match made in heaven,
dude.
Like Cuphead is the one game other than the Gears series that I need to just. The problem is, my boys are really the only ones that use the Xbox. They got it for Christmas from Santa a couple years ago, and the problem is it's hooked up to like the oldest HD TV ever in their little game room. That's like a 40-inch old LCD. I don't even think it's really LCD. The colors look horrible. I'm like, I can't play a game on this. I can't play on this. We're gonna get a new TV for that room at some point in the future. But like that, there's the Gears series and there's Cuphead. Probably Cuphead before Gears that I've got to go. I don't care what it costs, if it's on sale, not whatever. I need to buy that game and I need to play it. And we probably need to do Let's Plays of it, even though it's like 2 years too late, because it'll be freaking hilarious because I will suck at it.
If you do Games Pass,
well, that's true. They have Game Pass.
It's on there.
Cuphead is on there?
Yeah, it's exclusive to Xbox. I mean, like every exclusive Xbox game is on there. just chewed right into the microphone.
Sorry about that. I don't even know how the ice came through the top of my Yeti. Well, my fake Yeti, whatever it is.
That was nice. That was good.
I just think this is perfect. Like we know Xbox is coming to E3 in a, quote, big way, is what Phil said. They don't have to worry about Sony. This is when they plant their flag. I think they show Scarlet, whatever it is, even though I don't think it's coming out till 2020. I think they at least give a glimpse or talk about it in depth.
But, I mean, honestly, like if they come out in a big way and there's no new announcement for a console and it's literally just, I mean, we talked about this, I think, last year. I know y'all did your separate E3 predictions, but I think we did one with Adam, Paul, Ernie, Eric, and myself. Yep. But I was saying, I think one of us were saying that, can you imagine, and I don't know how they would, because I'm sure they would both argue for time as far as like Microsoft on Nintendo stage or Nintendo on Microsoft. And it probably would have been Nintendo on Microsoft stage because Nintendo just does a really big direct, right?
Yeah.
So, but could you imagine, Phil Spencer being there? It's kind of like, it would have been like foreshadowing for the Game Awards, but Phil Spencer being on there and then not so much doing the cheesy, we got one more thing for you, but essentially like, oh, well, we wanted to talk about where you can find Games Pass, and people are like, the Xbox? And Reggie walks out stage. Like, I would have died.
It would have been the best E3, and it still may happen this year. And Reggie, come on, stay through E3. Do 2 more months.
April, right?
Yeah. 2 more months.
But so I mean, they could not talk about anything other than Games Pass being on Switch for the Microsoft. It could literally just be like Phil Spencer's like, Games Pass coming to the Switch. These are the games you can find on it, and just walk away like, that's
it. Yeah, we're done here.
We're good here.
We'll see you next year for the Xbox 2 or whatever it is.
That wins for me. Yeah,
it's so cool, and the whole.
Because again, like you think about Crackdown 3, like how bad of the publicity it's getting right now, because it looks like an old game that's like
took like 10 years
that
to
should be
make.
on Xbox 360, but it's on the Xbox One. that feels like a game that would be perfect looking
Right.
wise on the Switch. And that's why I've got buddies at work that they've talked about Fortnite. I was like, do you have a Switch? They're like, yeah. I was like, play Fortnite on the Switch because it just seems appropriate. Like it feels like that's a Switch game, and not that every Switch game has to be cartoony and
No,
bubbly
but it's
or
like,
anything. But it's like it's the mentality of Nintendo and the Switch and Mario and Zelda and
Breath
Kirby
of the Wild with that
and stuff.
cell shaded
Right.
kind of thing.
And
That's
so
how
you
they
put-
got around not having all the horsepower, and it looked great.
Yeah. So I mean, you put both Ori games on the Switch, Cuphead on the Switch. Like good luck. I mean, I'm supposed to be spending my wife's 40th birthday with her. But I'll be like, hey, just go to bed, babe. Let me play Switch and Cuphead. Yeah.
Cuphead, I love you so much.
Yeah.
I got to play that freaking game.
It's great.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is awesome. This is freaking crazy. What still I wish would happen, my dream, like I've said on here, and maybe this could happen down the road, is what if it goes the other way? What if Nintendo says, okay, we're putting the virtual console on Xbox for the next generation.
Yeah.
And you can play NES
why
and
not?
SNES games and stuff.
I mean, why not?
Holy freaking crap. Are you kidding
I mean,
me?
if everything's about to be cloud-based, I mean, all you do is like, you just have to have a Pro Controller.
Exactly.
And you just have to sync it up with your Xbox. Like, done. 100% done. But the argument is, right, like, and even now with Games Pass coming to Switch, and if that were to ever happen, talk about, Gamer Boner City, but like, where's the missed revenue for either one of the group? Like if Nintendo does that to Xbox, and Xbox is about to do that with Nintendo, or is Microsoft about to do that with Games Pass to Nintendo, is there any missed revenue for the Xbox? And I say no.
No,
just because
it's just getting it in more people's hands.
You're getting the software in more people's hands, and they go, man, this game's a lot of fun on my Switch. I wonder what it would look like on an Xbox. Or I wonder how it would play on an Xbox. I'm gonna go get the new. I'm gonna get the Scarlet, or I'm gonna get the Xbox One X, and really power up this game that I've been playing on my Switch. Or Microsoft's gonna. I mean, I'm sure Nintendo would be taking some cut or some
they take
percentage.
like 10% or something. One out of every $10.
Yeah,
but
where's the lost revenue when you just open your market to what's the Switch's numbers? Billions of people. I mean,
22, 23 million, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can have the 10%, and I'll take that Games Pass subscription.
I agree with you 100%. There's no downside because it's not people that only have a Switch. If you have an Xbox, you probably have Game Pass already. We have Game Pass. Everybody I know that has an Xbox has Game Pass. But if you don't have one and you do have a Switch, that's only good. It's extra revenue for you, period. Again, with maybe getting people to go out and buy an Xbox One or a 2 or whatever.
My only question is, I wonder, is there going to have to be like a repeat purchase? So if you have one on Xbox and you want to get on Switch, can you log in from the Switch with the same username?
Can you do like a family account or something?
Yeah, or like, do you have to purchase it for the Xbox and then purchase it for the... So I'd love to see when, I guess, more details about that come out. But at the same time, maybe it's a different price threshold for the Switch because you're already paying $20 for the online,
right?
And that's just yearly
for the year, yeah.
So then what's it? So would you pay $10, an extra $10 for Games Pass if you already have it on the Xbox on the Switch, and then you're paying way more than you are for the year?
Right.
So there has to be.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
There would have to be like a different, like I've already paid my $10 a month. I'm not paying a different $10 a month, or maybe it's like just $2 a month for the Switch.
Yeah, for an additional system or something.
Yeah.
I feel like they would, because they've been so good about crossplay and everything. I feel like they would.
Grandfather it in,
work
maybe,
that out.
yeah.
They would do something, some
Yeah.
kind of split account or something.
Yeah. I actually don't so it's funny that this whole conversation, I actually don't have Game Pass.
Okay.
And I also don't have the online for Switch. I haven't had
I don't have it for Switch either.
See, but now I'm about to get it.
Yeah.
Not only for this but also for Tetris 99.
Yeah. There's that, and it's still like this in the back of my head. I'm like, when just announce SNES games for it too.
Right.
It leaked like a month ago. Obviously, you're working on it. If it's $10 more a year, I would pay that. I mean, I've got a Raspberry Pi, but just to be able to take my Switch on the go and play Link to the Past or Mario World or Super Metroid or name any of all these other best games ever made of all time, it'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to end up getting it. The Tetris 99 thing is just blowing my mind. I'm like, I think it would be super stressful, but super fun at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to try it.
Yeah.
And again, like $20 a year. I mean,
well, and you can do a family plan too. That's what I've been telling Sean.
Yeah.
I was like, he and I just need to split one because you can do a family plan for like $35, and then you split it 2 ways, or you.
So like I actually talked to Adam about that, and Adam already has the subscription. But if you and Sean do it, let me know. And
because that's the thing. You don't have to actually be a family. You can be do boom, boom, boom.
You just let me know, and if we can cut it down to like just the 3 of us paying $5, $6 a month,
it's nothing.
I'm down for that.
Right? Yeah. All right. We're going to do the wrap-up now. NPD results came out for January. Unsurprisingly, Kingdom Hearts 3 was the number 1 selling game in the U.S.
There you go.
Resident Evil 2, of course, was number 2. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe was number 3. That's awesome. Sean and I are having a lot of fun playing through that. Check out Mario Mondays if you haven't already. Some people hate on that series. I think it's just so much fun. Now, if I was playing with 4 people at one time and you had like a Nick Scarpino trying to screw people over as Nabbit, then it wouldn't be very fun because he's just trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
But the 2 of you working together like we do, whereas every once in a while somebody pisses the other one off and we throw them off a cliff or whatever, it's so much fun. I know the art style's not the best, but I love new Super Mario U games. I mean, new Super Mario games. It's so well done. Call of Duty was number 4. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was number 5. Red Dead was number 6. Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown was number 7. That's shocking. But PSVR, that game is made for PSVR.
I think there's that, and also, isn't there a big gap between 6 and 7?
Oh yeah, like maybe like freaking 10 years or something.
So I think that's
forever.
people going to get back in that series. Yeah.
Number 8 was 2K19. Number 9 was Mario Kart 8. Number 10, of course, Grand Theft Auto 5. It will.
Which, by the way,
die.
I don't know.
And Switch was number 1 console again, 2 months in a row.
As far as like, I'm not promoting another YouTube channel.
No, that's fine.
But well, I mean, because it's not local, and I don't know like if there's any controversy around him. Like as I watch the videos, I feel like there could be just because the way that he like talks. But I stumbled upon this Bay Area Bugs YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't know how I found it, but
YouTube is a rabbit hole.
It's a dark hole. But it is. But he's got this mass. I mean, he's got a massive following. He's got over 1 million subscribers. Wow. Okay. But it's him and a buddy playing GTA Online, PC, and they do like role playing stuff. And I think there's like different servers for different role playing stuff. And it's funny. They teetered a line of kind of inappropriateness, at least as far as like not language, but things that may or may not fly. So like I'm like, is this funny? Is this not? Like I'm like, there's an internal. I don't know if
I should be laughing.
Yeah,
or not. Yeah.
Because they do some funny stuff, but then they do like they use some. They don't use any racial slurs. Let me go ahead and put that out there. But they do use some words out like I'm not utterly comfortable with. Yeah. But it seems funny. So like it's so funny like to see GTA 5 on that list because I've been watching a little bit of their YouTube videos like. So guys like that are probably one of these reasons why, and then they keep updating the servers, right?
Oh yeah,
and they're just adding more stuff and adding more stuff.
Well, and like this month, they were giving every weekend you logged in, you got $250,000.
Yeah, and so
in
like
free GTA money. It's
so
like they just keep people coming back. It's crazy. It's so much fun.
Has there been a game that has done that? As far as like, how old is that game?
2013. So 5.5 years at this point.
So is there any game that like has continued that progression and that much revenue stream?
No, for just like a regular online mode, it's either like, I mean, they still have servers open for some of the
Fortnite
Halo
will be
games
that
and
eventually,
stuff.
right?
Yeah, but like as an online game that, I mean, at this point, it kind of is an MMO, but it's outside of like WoW and stuff like that. There's been nothing other than just normal multiplayer. But
WoW has different releases.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know, over its
Whereas
time.
this is just, if you buy GTA, you get it.
Yeah.
You can spend money if you want. You can grind. You don't do whatever you want to do. Like I actually got back into GTA Online a couple times these past few weekends because they were doing this free money giveaway, and now they've added like space rifles and stuff. Like now I've got a rifle that shoots lasers, and it's so much fun. And it's like I can't afford to buy any of the cars anymore because they just keep getting so expensive. And I love the cars I have, so I don't care. But it's still just fun to go in there and like, oh, you shot me? Okay, here we go. Like that's the one online shooter I've been able to hold my own at, and that's because it's not first person, I think. Right. And it's just everything is auto aim. I would never turn that off because it's just I'm not MLG. But it's like it's just so much fun. It's still the cover shooting mechanics are better than any other GTA game before that. It just feels right, and it's so much fun. And yeah, Sean and I may, I don't know, tune in Saturday. We might hang out with y'all on twitch.tv/2player_co-op. Vita production is Ending soon, Sony said on their website. This is very heartbreaking for me. Just as a note, PS3 officially ended 2 months after a similar notice was released in 2017. That's really sad. But it's been dying a slow death ever since it came out.
Yeah.
Yacht Club Games announced that the King of Cards and Shovel Knight Showdown releases have been delayed for, quote, several months. The amiibo have also been delayed at this point as well. I love Shovel Knight. It's probably like a top 20 all-time game for me, maybe 25. Like, it's just so perfect, but I love Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
The Plague Knight campaign was horrible. Didn't feel like it at all. I loved the Spectre Knight campaign, actually. I beat that probably 6 months after it came out. I finally went back and played it, and I loved it. I don't know that I want to play as King Knight. I don't know that I want to play a knockoff of Smash Brothers as Shovel Knight characters. I'm sure it's fun. It'll make for a good Let's Play when it finally comes out, but like, finish the freaking game and put out Shovel Knight 2. God, I hope they've made so much money off this game. I've got to believe they've had at least part of their team working on whatever comes next, which I hope it's Shovel Knight 2, but they hinted on Twitter like a year ago, what if it's not? They actually tweeted me back and they're like, well, what if it's not Shovel Knight 2? And I was like, I'd be very sad, but you guys are awesome, and you know how to make games, so I'll probably buy it.
Was Shovel Knight one of the chapters in the Schreier book?
Oh, God. It's been so long since I read that.
Yeah. I feel like it was, but I can't remember.
I can't remember, but I might be getting that confused with my boss fight book, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Did you play Shovel Knight?
I played a little bit of it. Adam probably put more time in it than I did because he played on the Vita. Is that where you played it, the Vita?
I played both. I played PS4. I beat it on PS4 before I got my Vita, but then when I got the Vita, it kind of breathed a second life into it. And they've got cross-save and everything, so I can upload my save, download it on my Vita, play it at work.
Yeah, I played a portion of it on Adam's Vita, just hanging out at the house or whatever, but he played a lot more of it than I did. So,
yeah,
like all those names you said was, I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
No.
But
I know who Shovel Knight is, and that's about it.
They make amazing games. I'm so excited to see what's next, but man, I wish they could just get to what's next.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 0, 1, and 4, that's random, are coming to the Switch on May
random.
21st.
Are they going to look the same?
So it's the Resident Evil 1 remake that came out on GameCube. It's Resident Evil 0 that came out on GameCube. And then it's probably, I would guess, the basically equivalent to the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4 that came out. But that also came out that was also remastered on PS3. So either one, I mean, it doesn't look really much better on PS4 because you're still talking about a 13, 14-year-old game that they just up-res a little bit. But they're coming out on Switch May 21st.
There you go.
Those games don't really speak to me as being like portable games. Those are ones I want to sit in front of the TV and get immersed and everything, which obviously you can do it with your Switch. But, I mean, if you wanted to play these games, you've probably already played them and bought
played them somewhere.
The next little note here I have is we don't really know what this is, but Google is up to something. They've sent out invites during GDC. Maybe they're finally going to take the tarp off of the Project Cloud thing they're doing. That's what it has to be. Is it going to be a console or something? I don't know because all the tests they've done have just been browser-based, and that's kind of what I think this will end up being. But if they're doing an event during GDC week, it's obviously gaming-related, and it's got to be related to their Project Cloud
GDC's
stuff.
not next week, but the third?
I think it's like the second week of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that, with Google getting involved, I mean, and I don't want to take credit away from people who've had this idea, but the people with Kind of Funny, Greg Miller and Tim Geddes talking about what if it's just a software program on the Fire Stick?
Yep.
And the software program, and it might have to be a new Fire Stick, but it's just a software program, just much like you run your Netflix, much like you run Hulu.
It's just an app or something.
It's just an app that you can plug into the TV. You have got a Bluetooth controller, and you can just start streaming games. But I mean, at that level, what games are we talking about? I mean, they did Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So are they all just third-party games? Will there be any? I think it'll be fun when we see if that's all what it is, like a Google exclusive game, and who that developer is with what publisher. Would it be EA who's the first one to jump on that, or would it be? I don't know. I mean, most of the good companies are now bought by either Sony or Microsoft at this point. So, who's left to make a Is it Atari? I don't know. You know, I mean, it's
They're whatever. Oh my God, that thing's still
That
coming
box-
out this
no,
year,
yeah.
isn't it?
No,
The Atari box that nobody wants.
no, I don't know. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what is this. Also, what type of streaming services? I mean, could I go on there and start playing? And like, what controller is it? A Google-made controller? Is it a Pro controller from Nintendo? Does it matter? I mean, is it just like any controller that has a Bluetooth setting to it? And then
even I guarantee if it's not compatible with other ones, whatever, if they do come
Someone
out
will
with
make
something,
one.
8-Bit Do will do an
Yeah.
adapter for it. Like
Yeah.
8-Bit Do putting out an adapter for the PlayStation Classic. You can
Right.
use your DualShock forwards. You
Yeah.
don't have to play with the cord. I mean, it's longer than the NES Classic.
and then like,
stuff, but it's
what
still not long.
games, quote unquote, launch with this software app that's on your Fire Stick?
Yeah.
You know, obviously, I would assume one of them would be Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yeah.
but you know, will it be a Call of Duty? Will it be a
See, those are the ones that I still wonder with this whole streaming thing, which obviously eventually we're all going to get to just streaming games. That's
Right.
obviously the future, but we got to build out our 5G network. We got to get, it's not even the speeds that we need, it's more the latency. Like you have to get almost no latency. That's what 5G is going to bring. My job is in mobile phones. I knew all about that. And mobile phones is not just all that 5G is. It's going to be your actual internet eventually. And there's going to be, you're going to be just living in Wi-Fi. It's going to be, because they're going to put it up on light posts and everything. Obviously, that's probably 15 years down the road before that's actually built out and we have the infrastructure for it. So games like Assassin's Creed Odyssey and like Horizon and Zelda, where you don't have, it's not like Twitch-based shooters and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't imagine streaming a Call of Duty or a Fortnite or PUBG or Apex or any of these games where it's like, if you hesitate, you're dead.
Right.
And if that guy's playing with no lag and no latency and you have a little bit more latency,
It's over.
that's win-loss right there. So
right.
I don't know. It's definitely going to be excited. Come back to two-player co-op for more news in a few weeks. There's a rumor going around that Scalebound is being resurrected on the Switch. I just included it in the wrap-up because that's really all we know. Some people are disputing it. Some people are saying it's real, so I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't.
Some people were super stoked about it. When I saw Scalebound, I was like, that does not
It's
look
just,
like
yeah,
a
it's just
game.
one of those games that don't really speak to me.
Yeah.
I think that maybe did for Adam. I can't, because I mean, I don't know what level does it compare to like Dragon Age and stuff like that. And Adam really love those games, so I don't know if it's like an equal to or whatever. So maybe Adam enjoyed it, and he was going to enjoy it, and he was upset about its cancellation a couple of years back, and now he's I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I had nothing to say about it.
People on internet, people on
internet.
the interwebs some people were super stoked about this.
Yeah,
So
sure. Good. Well, good
see.
for them.
We'll see. And the last note here, this just broke. I don't even remember. I think yesterday. Nibel on Twitter tweeted that he was hearing from sources that
Okay, yeah.
Assassin's Creed was skipping this year and Watch Dogs 3 was
Well,
coming out.
we knew Assassin's Creed was skipping this year.
Has that ever been confirmed?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's been confirmed by Ubisoft. That
Okay.
they were skipping this year because they were adding DLC for Odyssey up
For
to,
the whole year.
Yeah,
basically.
well, yeah, maybe because they're about to do the third episode of the most recent DLC, which you can find reviews for. You click on nerd1.com, and then they were planning on. I think you're right. I think they were planning on continuing something as far as DLC and updates or whatever through 2019.
Yeah.
For Odyssey.
Yeah, you're right. So after Nibel tweeted this, Schreier was like, I wouldn't count on that. Because they were saying it's skipping this year. Watch Dogs 3 is coming out. The next Assassin's Creed is going to be in Italy, I think, and it's going to be called Legion or something like that. And there'll be descendants of Cassandra and Cassius. Is that his name? That was the other main character.
Alexios,
thank you. Where did Cassius? I don't know where that's at. All these Greek names. But anyways, Schreier said, no, it doesn't look like that. And then he responded to somebody else and said, no, I just meant the Assassin's Creed stuff isn't right.
Yeah, someone said like all of it, and he said no, just the Assassin's Creed stuff.
And then he replied back with a flag of London. And so the details are Watch Dogs 3 will be set in London, which if you played Watch Dogs 2, you've known that forever because there was coordinates in the game that pointed to London. It's like obviously that's where the next game's going to go. The focus will be on smaller firearms and knives for combat with a larger emphasis on hacking. I feel like they kind of already did that in 2, whereas 1 didn't live up to the promise. 2 did. I freaking loved 2. That was one of my favorite games
you got
in
a platinum
2016.
for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I freaking loved that game. There will be a new character, just like they did a new character in 2. be able to choose to be male or female, like in Far Cry 5, but it will be the same story. I hope this is true. This was going to be an E3 prediction for me that it was going to happen this year, but like all Ubisoft games,
they get leaked. Yeah. But it still could be a prediction.
Yeah, if it's not official by then, it will be one of my predictions, and that'll be an easy point.
That's cool. I didn't play any of Watch Dogs 1. I did play Watch Dogs 2, and I enjoyed my time with it. I think I just fell off it really was for me. I wasn't much into it as you were. It was for me. It was just a bridge to the next game.
Yeah,
which was fine for me.
It was the first one. I'm not the first one to make this comparison, but it's like a lot of people have said with Assassin's Creed that 1 was like a proof of concept. 2, they showed what they can actually do.
Right.
Now, the only problem with that is Assassin's Creed 3 sucked.
Yeah.
So please, Watch Dogs 3 don't suck, but I'm so stoked for this. I really hope it's real, and I think it is. I thought we were going to get it last year because I thought they were going to take a Assassin's Creed Origins, take a year off, do Watch Dogs, and then do Odyssey this year, and then alternate them every year.
Yeah.
Which I think eventually that's what they might get to. The problem is Watch Dogs 2 didn't sell great. The first one did. Then everybody realized they kind of got duped. It was not what they were promised.
Yeah.
So Watch Dogs 2 sales tanked, but the game was critically great. So
yeah, I enjoyed my time with it.
We'll see. Well, now we're at that part of the podcast where I don't sing, and I'm not going to do it until Sean comes back. But Nick, did you know that it's time for the Did You Know section of the podcast?
I did.
What's one of your favorite game series, Nick, that you're super excited for the next game that's coming out here in about 6 weeks?
Mortal Kombat.
Did you know that the name Mortal Kombat took about 6 months for them to finalize when they made the first game?
As far as like trying to just decide on the name?
They couldn't come up with a name for the game.
Yeah, I want to say, do you have they thought with some of the names on there? I'm trying to remember one, and I don't even know if Mortal or Kombat was in the title.
Mm-mm. So it says here, Mortal Kombat did not have a name for more than half of its development. They made the game in like 11 months, I think it was. Every suggestion for a title was allegedly detested by at least one of the 4 designers, Boone, Tobias, artist Joan Vogel, and sound designer Dan Fortin. Names that didn't make the cut included Kumite. I feel like they would have got sued by Bloodsport for that. Dragon Attack, Death Blow.
I think it was Kumite is what I've only known the name to be because the game was inspired by Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other name was Fatality.
Oh, no. That would have been bad. That's a bad title.
So the actual name was, it was come up, what the hell am I trying to say? Came up with by, that's not what I'm trying to say. I've been talking too much. An outsider, I'll just read what I wrote down. An outsider in pinball and game designer Steve Ritchie, a friend of Boone's, came up with the name Mortal Kombat on a whim upon catching glance of a misspelled combat on the latter's drawing board during a visit to the office. So just some random guy is the name that came up with Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Combat, that's cool. You spelled it with a K, that's weird. Well, there are humans fighting. What about Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
And then you've got one of the best movie songs in history. Mortal Kombat.
And the best fighting game series of all time.
We'll save that. We could do versus podcasts now. That would be fun. We did the versus Let's Plays and ratings and stuff. We could do versus podcasts. That's been done before, but I mean, whatever. Everything's been done.
Yeah, I'm super excited for Mortal Kombat. I mean, someone who put in over 300 hours to Injustice 2, and I'm clearly a bigger fan of Mortal Kombat's lore than I am Injustice 2 lore because it's only 2 games. Yeah. But yeah, just oh god.
I'm creeping up near 400 for GTA 5 and online now that I got back into it a little bit. So
400 hours?
Right there with you. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
So I beat it single player on PS3, single player on PS4.
Oh, and
played a bunch of online on 3, then played a bunch even more online on 4.
Well, I was joking with Adam the other day, and not like Ed Boone's going to see this video or anything, maybe. But I was joking the other day. I was like, at what level can I be like, hey, Ed Boone? Like, I know like a lot of professional, probably like, Evo guys put in over 300 hours of that game. But I'm not professional, and also is also all single player stuff. So you want to hand your boy a review copy?
You should. I mean, because I haven't had much luck reaching out for review copies, but I always say try. I feel like
Well, I think the problem is like reaching too high. Yeah, you gotta start like here in the bottom.
Well, but the thing is, so like So Colin was saying on his last podcast that there are certain developers that just flat out don't want to work with him because he's Colin. And what proved that to him was he was reaching out trying to get copies of was it Metro? It was Metro, because he had played through the first 2 games to get ready for Metro Exodus to come out. Metro, I don't care about it at all. But they just said, "Oh, sorry, review codes are tight. We don't have any to spare." But then he finds out that like some YouTube channels with like 500 subscribers were getting review copies of it. So that's just for me to say, don't ever think you're shooting.
Yeah. And I'm
especially when the big thing is having a website, which you have a website, which we'll get to here in a minute. Like for us, it's always tough because it's like, what's your website? YouTube.com/2player
right.
co-op,
There's no home
and
base.
It's like, it's tough to get those unless it's a really small game.
Yeah, I mean, and then, but like I was like, well, the selling point is so like I played Injustice 2 just tower after tower for over 300 hours.
Yeah,
I didn't play. I probably like dabbled into the online and like maybe grab a trophy or 2, which I didn't get, and then went like just grinded for. I mean, I probably spent like at least 50 hours alone to get a Batman cowl.
I'm okay with
to
that.
match the rest of the Batman suit. Then that cowl sucked, and I was so upset. But that's just how it was. I mean, it was just grinding it out to try and get the little mother boxes and then everything else. So it was just like, I put over 300 hours, probably close to like 350 hours into just to the single playing, and to the point where eventually like I had 3 people who I felt like I'm not on Evo level whatsoever, but I could probably like walk in their like rec room and like
just wreck.
Yeah.
Wreck.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that with Mortal Kombat because it's essentially Injustice 2 with one of my favorite gaming series of all time.
You said mother boxes, and I thought of Justice League, and that made me really depressed.
It should.
God, that movie. Oh,
it should.
Batman, they just completely kill this character. All right, that's fine. Save us, Matt Reeves. You're our only hope. That is it for episode 126 of the 2-Player Co-op podcast. Thank you guys so much. I almost said Bobcat. 2-Player Co-op podcast. Late. Thank you guys so much for being here and for hanging in. Obviously, you can find us on Twitter. I'm at KevinWhite24. He's at Nerd901Nick. Mm-hmm. But you can also find us at this fancy website named Nerd901.com. Nick, why don't you tell us about it?
Yeah, if you've caught me on the past before, mostly the kind of the wrestling videos with the prediction shows we do here, our motto has changed. I think over the past couple of years, where we went from wanting to be a source of content to a source of kind of just helping discover local nerds, I guess you could say, and kind of Ab and I, we knew that we were nerds and we finally were adults and we can kind of live that life, and we wanted to start finding other people like us, and we knew the website was the best way to do it. So it went from content to, like I was saying, just discovering more people and getting them out in the forefront, like you and Sean, like Ernie, Eric Barlotta, now Melody Klink, and then just through that we've discovered more people like Josh Tucker, who is the host of our Nerd 901 tournament and our extra live stream. So we've become evolved, I guess you could say, more from a content-based website to a kind of a support-based website. Now we do put out content. I mean, Melody does video game exclusives or reviews exclusively for us. We put up y'all's most of everything of your content, everything of Ernie's content, because maybe someone didn't find your YouTube channel, or maybe someone didn't find Ernie's YouTube channel. So we're just another outlet. So we are content-based, but we're also support-based is the kind of way. So we wanted to cultivate and flourish and nourish this kind of nerdy community in Memphis, because it's hard to find here. Because in the South, it's more sports-based, and so it's hard to find nerds like ourselves. So that's where we are now. To where now I've taken a different leap into Twitch, to where
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime. We've got so many local streamers like Josh Tucker, like NSA Jose, fan of the show, Miss TNA, who has got her Twitter name is Miss_TNA. She currently has my monthly subscription for this month. I did NSA Jose previous month, and then Josh Tucker in December. So I'm sticking to our word of finding these people and giving them the love and the attention they need. So I make sure that I give them the subscription monthly and then move on to the next person, but giving them a shout out and then pop in their chat and just be like, hey, you know, you might have 50 people in your chat, but I'm here to support just too, and we're always a helping hand.
I love it. It's awesome, and it's put those people on my radar too.
Good.
Like I don't remember if NSA Jose found us first or we found him first. I don't remember who found who first, but it's like that helped put him on my radar. And like you're saying with this month's subscription and stuff, it's cool because I didn't even know. Like you said, it's tough. You think
well, the market is so saturated.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like people who watch this who are local, I challenge you that if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime, and you've got $5 sitting there that can go to a local streamer. Yep. Someone who I know watches the show quite often, James Solar. You know, you've got, I think he lives in Texas. Mm-hmm. So you've got a local streamer in Texas that could probably use a sub. And if you're not subbing it to him, then maybe consider subbing it to someone here in Memphis, or, you know, people like, you know, Kotaku streams and kind of funny streams on Twitch and stuff like that. And
Andy.
They deserve your money too, but they've got countless of accounts that will give it to them. So find a local streamer and continue to help build your community of video game fans.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I'm part of the family and you guys continue to do
Well, we're
great
glad
work.
you're part of the family too.
Obviously, if you're watching this, you should be at, like I said earlier, youtube.com/2playercoop or nerd901.com. But either way, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified every time we post a video every week here at youtube.com/2playercoop. We are also around audio services around the globe, like Apple Podcasts. Let me look here because there's so many. Google, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and other audio services around the world. This has been a lot of fun. I told you this was going to be a good one.
It's always good. Appreciate it.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for helping out. It's I miss you, Sean, but I have had a lot of fun doing this with you this week and with Logan last week. It's just it's been fun.
Yeah,
and it was scary as hell to do this by myself a few weeks ago, but I just started talking, and that ended up being a lot of fun too. But yeah, that's it for episode 126. Come on back next week for episode 127. But until that time, Nick, take us out.
Thank you for playing. Perfect.
He caught it.
Perfect.
I'll CGI
See you later.